Have you read a story in the Draoithe Saga and come away with a classic case of immersion after effect? Let me guess, there are questions which remain unanswered even as the magic expanded, adding another layer to the dream. The grand desire to turn the page to discover what happened next ended with the last leaf turned. If you're asking where the remedy for the book hangover is, you know the answer: read another story. But you aren't ready for the next tale, not yet. The dust needs to settle before you pick up the next volume. So you have found your way here. You aren't alone. Even the author can't get enough. As you hear this, Ophelia Key writes on. But allow me to offer you a possibility, a reflection on the tale you recently finished, and a way to revisit the story to ease the story blues. Welcome to the Draoithe Saga After Party. Warning, spoiler alerts ahead. Turn back now if you wish to read the story blind.
Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we take source material, could be anything really, and we pull out the good stuff. The most important bits, maybe the surprising things.
Yeah, the insights you need.
Exactly, all for you. It's kind of like your shortcut, right? So you don't have to wade through everything yourself.
We do the waiting for you.
Yeah.
Cut through the noise, find the core ideas, the moments that, really define what we're looking at. Make it stick.
And today, we're definitely wading deep. We're jumping into steamy urban fantasy, paranormal romance territory. Our sources are excerpts from Raven's Rescue by Ophelia Key.
Okay, and right off the bat, this isn't just a one-off story. It fits into a much, much bigger world called the Draoithe Saga.
Yeah, it's huge. And the main idea behind the saga, apparently, is setting up this, immortal kingdom in Texas, of all places.
It's sort of magical Tyler, Texas, yeah.
Right, an immortal kingdom. And it's got this big mission fighting against stuff that's throwing the magic out of balance. They call it the dream, maybe their reality.
Seems like it, yeah. The fabric of their world.
Okay, quick heads up though. This genre, these specific pages, they come with warnings. Adult themes, fantasy violence, definitely some explicit sexual situations.
So yeah, just be aware, this is definitely mature content. Our job today, though, is to work through these excerpts, figure out the key characters, this really unusual world, the main stuff happening in these pages.
Think of it like getting the essential briefing, the need to know for this part of the Draoithe Saga. Let's unpack it.
Let's do it.
Okay, so first things first, setting the scene. The Draoithe world from these pages. It's where myths, legends, fairy tales, they're not just stories.
Nope. They're real. Walking around, living alongside regular folks, but in this place that's kind of mundane and totally magical at the same time.
This magical realist Tyler, Texas, you mentioned. And the whole point of this kingdom is pushing back, right? Against whatever's messing with the magic, with the dream.
Exactly. It's a kingdom born out of, necessity to protect their reality.
And the saga itself, the way it's told, it's this long story, like a chronicle, told through the eyes of different people connected to it.
Yeah, and it often zooms in on couples finding hope, finding their life mates. That seems like a really central idea here.
Life mates, okay. Got it. And it's so big, it's broken down into miniseries.
Right, to make it manageable.
Yeah.
And these excerpts, they're from the Valkyrie Riders miniseries. The style's kind of like an old saga, heroic deeds, but very personal too. Characters pop up in each other's stories.
You might see the same scene, but from someone else's perspective.
Exactly. Gives it that interconnected feel. It feels like a living world.
Okay, cool. Let's get to the heart of it then. The main players in these pages, Ash and Raven.
Okay, Ash first. Real name, Emerick Driscoll. But nobody calls him that.
Because of the white hair. Right, so Ash.
Yeah. And he's a dragon shifter, which tells you straight away this guy's powerful. But not just any dragon. He's the Lord of Dragon.
And old, really old, 629 years old.
That's a lot of history.
Yeah.
And apparently a lot of waiting. He came to Draoithe with 6 other dragons, gray ones, following some ancient prophecy.
Yeah, something about finding their fated riders. Valkyrie.
And it seems tied to them finally becoming free dragons. Something's holding them back. He was specifically called there by Luke, the king.
Physically, he sounds pretty imposing. Tall, built.
6'2", 250, gray eyes. And he smells like brandy and sweet tobacco. Kind of specific detail there.
And the dragon form. Big, black, scary. Claws, horns, spikes, the works.
Definitely sounds intimidating. And he does a lot for the kingdom. He's a diplomat, commands the dragons in battle, advises the king on war stuff.
But the excerpts make it really clear, right? His main thing, his personal driving force in these pages.
That's Raven, claiming her, his life mate, his Valkyrie.
Okay, so his powers. Shifting, obviously, talking telepathically with other dragons.
Right, controlling these intense purple and black dragon flames. You can even use them to, like, cauterize wounds on the battlefield.
And that really intense magic stealing thing, drawing blood with a bite and licking the wound.
Yeah, steals magic from other immortals. Pretty brutal. He can also do partial shifts, like just his hand turning into a dragon paw with huge claws.
4-inch claws. Ouch. And he stores something called sequel energy.
Yeah, it sounds like some kind of specific dragon fuel needs to fly with a rider.
Okay, sequel energy. Interesting. Now, Raven. Her actual name's Leonor de Sousa, but she goes by Raven.
And her story, where these excerpts pick up, starts pretty normal. She was just, working a bar.
And then everything changes. Horribly. She gets abducted.
And this is crucial. She's turned into a shifter, a maned wolf shifter without her consent. Part of these awful experiments.
Ash is the one who rescues her, finds her in a really bad way.
Terrible shape, weakened, fading, which sounds like she's literally dying because the turning wasn't consensual, plus all the abuse and torture she went through.
Physically, she's smaller. 5'2", auburn hair, green eyes, only 24. Smells like lily of the valley.
But the turning, even though it was traumatic, it did change her physically. Heightened senses, sight, hearing, smell, touch, all way better. Doesn't need contacts anymore.
So her main struggle we see here is just the shock. Trying to accept she's not human, dealing with the trauma. And then these confusing feelings for the ancient dragon guy who saved her.
Yeah, it's a lot. But you see this connection starting, even with all the weirdness.
The source says she is his fated mate, a Valkyrie, and calls her a maned wolf submissive at first.
Right, but then later, another character, Smoke, calls her a Nephilim and a potential alpha female.
Whoa, okay. Submissive wolf and Nephilim alpha potential. That's interesting. What's that tell us?
It suggests maybe her identity isn't just fixed by the turning, right? There's something more there. Maybe a lot more power than anyone realizes at first.
Yeah.
She's also got this acquisitive side. Apparently likes treasure.
Like a dragon.
Maybe like a Valkyrie. And she can feel Ash's heartbeat when they're close. And get this, after being exposed to his fire, she can actually command dragon fire herself.
Command his fire. Wow. Okay, that's huge. Ties right into the Valkyrie thing. But right now, her biggest need is just healing.
Desperately. Physical, mental, and just understanding what the heck is going on.
Yeah, you really feel the overwhelm. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's zoom in on the rescue itself. The warehouse raid. These places run by Peter Elliot, who seems like the big bad behind the experiment.
Yeah, it's a team effort. Dragons, King Luke, some other key guys, Javier, Khalik, Andre. And it's not just a fight. It's about how Draoithe handles things. It's efficient.
Yeah.
And brutal.
In that first warehouse, they take down guards, find these immortal captives who are part of the experiments.
And this is where Ash uses that bite and lick magic stealing.
Yeah.
Neutralizes them, turns them into these servants. Writhing servants, the text says.
Yeah, and Ash sentences them by ancient laws. It involves, physically altering them with his claws, burning the flesh with fire, wiping their identities, their magic.
Making them swear oaths to the king, the Rurek, and the underkings, the Quiri. It's intense. Transformative justice, but harsh. They also find a bear shifter who's been badly beaten.
Warehouse 2 is even worse. Just horrific. Cages with dead women shifters already faded.
And these cubicles where women were tied up, abused, raped. Ritual torture, apparently, happening every night. Like a controlled experiment.
Just awful. And this is where Ash finds Raven. He confronts her attacker immediately.
Lists the charges, breaking kingdom laws, kidnapping, assault. Gives the guy a choice. Death or service.
And chooses service to Raven, calls it service of the Valkyrie.
Yeah. Then performs that same ritual, gelding, burning, taking identity and magic, binding him to the realm as Raven's man. It's chilling, shows Ash's power, but also immediately gives Raven this awful kind of authority.
Ash carries her out, they exchange names, and she feels safe with him. His magic makes her feel safe, which is just such a contrast.
Huge contrast. They leave for Tyler, for Draoithe.
Yeah.
But those two women they found dead. Just too late for them. Tragic.
Yeah. So that rescue scene, it sets up everything. The stakes, the villain, the kind of power Ash and Draoithe wield. It's ancient and it's not gentle.
No, definitely not. It throws Raven right into this intense new reality.
So moving on from that immediate horror, Raven starts her journey at Draoithe. She wakes up feeling physically better, but totally confused. in a nice room.
Which turns out to be Ash's room. And he's right there, sitting with her, offering food, water, seems really anxious about her, guarding the door.
And despite him being, a giant dragon man, she feels safe with him, undeniably safe.
He gently asks about the changes she's feeling, the heightened senses.
Then comes the really weird part. Raven's man, her torturer, now her magically bound servant.
Yeah, she's horrified, obviously. Ash has to explain how it works. The guy has to obey her, or Ash deals with him, like lethally deals with him if she refuses the service.
It shows the terrifying scope of Ash's power, right? Life and death. And suddenly Raven has this absolute unwanted power over this guy.
And the servant acts the part, avoids her eyes, clearly terrified of Ash, brings her things like a new phone. It's deeply unsettling.
She asks for a bath, clothes, basic needs, but the servant prepares the bath.
Which horrifies her. She refuses his touch, absolutely refuses. But getting clean, getting clothes, it helps physically, but the sheer madness of it all is just overwhelming her.
She asks Ash straight up, "Are you a dragon?" Calls it the crazy train, which, fair enough.
Yeah, he kind of deflects, says he'll explain when she's stronger. He has to leave for a bit, dragon stuff, feeding other immortals or something.
And she starts noticing things. She's in his bedroom, he's bought her clothes, even traced her foot for shoes.
Yeah, like he's already assuming they live together. She finds it creepy, but also sees he's being kind, making an effort.
Then comes that big line. She asks why he did all this. His answer:
because you are everything to him. Tells her he waited 629 years for her, would wait longer.
Her reaction, totally relatable. Thinks he's nuts, it's too much.
Yeah. He has to quickly clarify she's not trapped, she can leave. But if she leaves, no protection, no sanctuary.
Yeah.
He really wants her to stay. You can feel his anxiety about it.
And then he shows her, gives her proof, reveals his dragon form.
Flames outlining him, his face shifts, his hand.
And her reaction isn't fear, she wants to touch him.
Strange, right? But yeah, she feels compelled. Reaches out, touches his scaled snout. He lets her, even leans into it.
Bizarre. Compelling, yeah. He shifts back, explains where he came from, souls of dead warriors made by a shaman centuries ago to serve a king.
Which leads to her perfect question. Are you dead? Like a zombie?
He says no, his heart beats, but he's changed. And then he drops the other big one on her.
Calls her his life mate. Say shifters only get one. Knew at the moment he found her, he was waiting for her.
Yeah. Destiny hitting her like a ton of bricks. She's overwhelmed, confused. Who wouldn't be?
But Ash shows real restraint here. Tells her she doesn't have to decide anything now. Just stay, rest, heal.
And she agrees, finds comfort holding him, hears his heartbeat, feels safe.
Yeah. And one last weird kind of dragon-y thing. She mentions losing a necklace.
And Ash responds by having Raven's man bring a giant box of treasure.
Yep. Gold, silver, gems, rings, necklaces, everything. Worth a fortune. Ash explains, treasure helps dragons feel better. Hoped it might help her. Calls her classic Valkyrie material because they like treasure.
Wow, so even his comfort attempts are filtered through his dragon nature. He sees her as treasure.
Exactly. And Raven, even in shock, admits she likes presents. Finds a gold cross that seems familiar. Even thinks, practically, hey, if I leave, maybe I'll take some of this.
Okay, so she's starting to get grounded, but needs the facts. How does this shifter thing work? Why is she fading? Who can help?
Ash starts with the hunger. Explains the bite wasn't just drugging her, it was from a canine shifter. It turned her into a maned wolf. Without consent.
That lack of consent seems key to the fading.
Definitely. Her body healing constantly depleted her energy. Shifters need more food anyway, but for her, it's critical. He confirms it. She's a maned wolf shifter now.
Raven's still skeptical, like a werewolf.
Understandable. Ash offers proof. Says she could try shifting, but warns it's risky, could make the fading worse. Or she could look at her dreams.
And she describes these really weird dreams, right? Vivid but wrong. Forest like a city, weird smells, hot but snowing, seeing a reflection like an ID.
Yeah. Then Ash shows her a picture of an actual maned wolf. That hits hard. She drops the phone. Horrified, but it clicks. The reality sinks in.
But there's hope. Ash says she's not alone. Others like her can help. She confirms, yes, she wants to be healed.
And Ash reveals the plan. A highly skilled dreamwalker, sounds like Calic maybe, will meet her in her dream on Monday night to start the healing.
Healing in a dreamscape. Okay, that's fascinating magic.
Yeah, it really is.
Which brings us to the Valkyrie stuff, the core of Ash's whole deal. What does being a Valkyrie actually mean for Raven?
Okay, fundamentally, Ash explains a Valkyrie is a dragon's life mate, his life mate. And if she accepts him, he can turn her again, give her wings, so she can fly with him when he's a dragon.
Whoa. Okay, so how does that magic work? She's already a maned wolf.
Right, he clarifies. If he turns her, she gains his powerful dragon magic on top of her shifter magic. His magic would be stronger, kind of override hers to a degree, but she'd still be a maned wolf too. He stresses he's a made first-order shifter. His magic is way beyond just changing shape.
There's also a difference between just a rider and a Valkyrie.
Big difference. A rider is trained, swears oaths. A dragon needs a rider to fly, but a Valkyrie, that's the dragon's mate, their only rider. And with a Valkyrie, the dragon can fly whenever, with or without her physically there.
And Ash hasn't had that freedom, hasn't flown without a handler.
For over 300 years, 3 centuries.
Wow. And Raven gets a little jealous hearing about past riders.
Yeah, a tiny flicker, but it's there. Her feelings are definitely developing. Ash points out her wolf side already knows he's her mate, even if her human brain is still catching up.
And the dragons themselves, they made a choice about this centuries ago.
Huge choice. Ash and Smoke talk about it. Their group of dragons, they all agreed. They would not force a bond, wouldn't turn someone who wasn't their true life mate, even if it meant being stuck, collared, unable to fly free for centuries.
They chose waiting, suffering, over forcing it, or settling for just any rider.
Exactly. They wanted the real deal, their actual fated mates. Like Raven. It wasn't just a preference, it was worth centuries of confinement to them.
That really puts the life mate thing into perspective. It's not just romance, it's central to their very being, their freedom.
Absolutely. It elevates the whole concept.
Okay, jumping ahead a bit. Monday morning, Raven wakes up, feeling better.
Much better physically. And significantly, no nightmares. She remembers sleeping in Ash's arms, feeling safe.
She starts learning about Draoithe's structure. This druid pack runs things.
Led by King Luke, the Rirurek, he's a druid overlord, has under kings the Query, and their life mates, the queens, or Rebanak. They form the council. It's a sanctuary, a retreat.
And the dragons, what's their role?
They serve the king and Query. Protection, enforcing laws. And they're the money guys, financiers for the whole operation.
Okay, so Ash and Raven get called to meet the king, Luke, and 2 Query, Javier and Duncan, who's also called Fox.
In the library, Raven actually wants to meet the king who gave her sanctuary. Ash introduces her properly, Leonora de Souza, but called Raisin. Luke and the Query confirm Ash took good care of her. They lay out the sanctuary rules again. Stay, heal, protected, but if you leave, you can't come back. And they ask about her old job, bar manager.
Which leads to the job offer. Totally unexpected.
Right. King Luke offers her the job of managing the bar at Draoithe. And the package is amazing. Great salary, like 75K I mentioned, plus housing, food, clothes, tailored phone, car, everything. Private rooms, access to events.
A completely new life handed to her.
But Raven, she doesn't just say yes. She hesitates at first. Ash kind of freaks out thinking she'll leave.
Then she negotiates.
Totally surprises him. Her first demand, I don't want to live alone. Ash stays with me.
And they just agree.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Instantly. And she keeps going. Wants to keep everything Ash already gave her, including the servant. Wants paid spa visits, event access, choosing her own hours.
And they agree to all of it.
All of it. Luke seals the deal. Contract coming. Bonus for naming the bar. Only catch. She needs to formally join the pack before starting.
Which comes back to Ash needing his Valkyrie, right?
Exactly. Luke explains Ash needs his bonded mate to join fully. So if Raven becomes his Valkyrie, she swears fealty, but Luke says for her, it's just a formality. He welcomes her.
Raven's reaction is perfect. I have a pet dragon.
Makes them all laugh. Ash is just beaming. And Raven thinks about it. She bargained for Ash because she needs his strength. She likes him, trusts him. He didn't push, he waited. And really, where else can she go now she's a maned wolf?
And there's that later insight from Smoke about the gifts Ash gave her.
Crucial point. Smoke tells her Ash used his own money, not Draoithe funds, because she mattered more than wealth. Dragons see their mates as the ultimate treasure, but Smoke warns her be kind, because she now has the power to destroy Ash.
Wow. That flips the power dynamic completely. She seems vulnerable, but she holds immense power over him.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Yeah.
But just as she's processing all this, the job offer, the implications, chaos erupts.
Right, this incident she witnesses. A guy turns into a bear, Grizz, kills Smoke.
Then an owl shifter shows up, Isabel, a fire demon dog called Flame. And Smoke, the guy who just died, comes back to life as a dragon, a smoke-colored one. after getting hit by purple light from Fox, the query.
Okay, yeah, that would break anyone. The sheer impossibility.
It breaks Raven. She starts shaking, can't stop, thinks it's crazy land, totally overwhelmed, can't breathe, panic attack.
Ash is right there, though, hides her face in his chest, and she feels safe. Only with him.
Only with him. Amidst utter chaos, he's her safe space. He whispers that nothing hurt her, kept his promise, asks her to look at him.
And when she does,
The trembling stops. His smile grounds her. He helps her sit down.
he explains it, how smoke is okay.
Yeah, calmly. Says dragons die all the time, query bring them back. No memory loss if it's quick. Explains Smoke had to die for Grizz to shift something complicated Luke wanted for the council. He just keeps promising she's okay, he'll keep her safe. Asks if she trusts him.
And her answer is key. She trusts him, explicitly, never lied, rescued her, cared for her, but she does not trust the other crazies.
Yeah. But she agrees to hear Luke's offer again, the meeting that got interrupted, on one condition.
Ash has to go with her. She can't do it alone.
He promises he'll stay with her. She's relieved. Even notices she likes his smile, thinks he should smile more. That chaos wasn't just random, it tested her, but also solidified her trust in him specifically.
Okay, let's tie this back to the romance, the magic bond. After the negotiation, Ash wants proof for her, that her wolf side recognizes him.
Yeah. Asks her to sit on his knees, He does. Wraps her arms around him, feels comfortable, looks up, thinks he's gorgeous, and just kisses him. Thinks, hey, he's mine now, technically.
He lets her kiss him, responds. She sees proof of his desire.
But he stops it. Gently lifts her face. So she's not ready for that. As they're immortal, there's no rush. Confirms he wants her, but they have time. Asks if she believes him now about her wolf recognizing him. She nods.
She wants more, though. Initiates a deeper kiss.
He gives it to her, more demanding, lets her feel his power, kisses her jaw, her ear. She moans. It gets intense, too intense. Fear creeps in. She breaks away.
And after that intensity, she feels this urge to bite him.
Yeah. On his neck, where his pulse is, like claiming him, finds the urge weird, shakes her head.
Ash explains it's her wolf, wants to bite him. Strange for her human mind, but normal shifter stuff, part of the magic. But denying it makes it fade.
Then he connects it to the next step. If she accepts his mark, his bite, they can play with dragon fire together. She won't burn. It helps the bond, lets them feel each other's emotions, his bright madness. But he's waiting.
Waiting for her permission. My turn to bite, he says. Her consent is the key. To bind them, unlock the magic fully.
It's all on her terms. The powerful dragon lord waiting for the okay from the traumatized woman he rescued.
And we see a flash of that magic later, after he flies with her, using energy from their kisses.
Yeah, she just holds up her hand and boom, dragon flame appears on her palm. Her own flame, not following his command anymore, Ash confirms. If she were his Valkyrie, she would command his fire.
He tells her again she's everything. He wants everything with her, unlimited, permanent, always. Puts it all in her hands.
And she admits,
Yeah.
she wants it too. But it's terrifying, surreal. She doesn't know what to do.
He holds her, gives her strength, tells her not to be afraid. He swore to protect her, even from himself, reminds her they have forever. He'll help, won't leave.
So yeah, despite everything she's been through, Raven holds incredible power here. Power over his freedom, where he lives, his ability to fly, command of his fire, and maybe, like Smoke warned, the power to destroy him. Her choice is paramount.
Which leads us to her new normal. She starts to accept this is her life now.
Yeah. Fundamentally changed. She is a shifter. She is part of this magical, sometimes terrifying reality. That's just what it is now.
And this new normal is complicated. Danger all around, but this bubble of safety with Ash. Under strangeness, dragons, shifters, vampires, magic. And these unexpected desires popping up in her for him, for treasure, even that urge to bite.
It's a mix. The excerpts end showing her navigating it. Ash has changed her focus. She's finding ways to cope, finding comfort, maybe even some enjoyment amidst the craziness.
She's not just surviving anymore, she's starting to actually live in this world.
Exactly.
So wrapping up this deep dive into these Raven's Rescue excerpts, we went from a woman's nightmare abduction.
Yeah, being forcibly turned into something not human.
To discovering this whole hidden world. Immortals, ancient dragons, powerful magic, and finding protection, unexpectedly, with one of those ancient dragons.
Who sees her as his destiny, his fated mate. We saw her deal with the bizarre situation of her attacker becoming her servant, landing this incredible job offer that anchors her in Draoithe.
And beginning to grasp the sheer power dynamic between her and Ash, the power she holds.
We saw Draoithe's harsh justice, the deep meaning behind the life-mate bond for these dragons, Raven's struggle, Ash's patience,
And that core theme of trying to find your way when reality just flips upside down.
Give you a whole new angle on finding your place, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah.
Which brings us to our final thought for you listening. Building on Raven's journey. If your world turned completely inside out tomorrow, how would you find your footing? How do you figure out who or what is safe to trust? What parts of your old self do you hold on to? What do you let go? And ultimately, do the strongest bonds, the deepest connections come from just needing them, from some kind of destiny? Or is it about making a conscious choice to grab onto the extraordinary even when it's terrifying and make it yours?
Definitely something to think about.
Indeed. That's our deep dive for today.
Thank you for your support. For more, visit opheliakey.com. Welcome to the dream. Sincerely. Okay.